Hey everybody, it's Jordan again, and I'm so glad that you're back for another week of our virtual KidMin experience. Last week, we got to celebrate something called Easter. We celebrate that he is risen and that the tomb is empty. And this week, we're actually gonna celebrate something really cool as well. It's called communion. What's communion? That's a big word, right? Well, I'm gonna try to break it down a little bit for you about what does it mean? Why do we do it? And what is there to celebrate? But we have to go back a little bit. You remember a couple weeks ago, we learned about the week before Jesus went to the cross, when he gave up his life, his body, and his blood for our sins. Now, just before he did that, Jesus actually did communion with the disciples. In Matthew 26, verses 26 through 28, Jesus talks about how he took bread and he took wine and he said, "Eat this, this is my body I'm giving up for you. Drink this is my blood I'm giving up for you." Now, let's back up a little bit. It wasn't really his body and his blood because he hasn't gone to the cross yet. So the wine and the bread, they were symbols. What's a symbol? It's one thing that is meant to represent another thing. So the wine and the bread represented the blood and the body. Now, the disciples did it because it was going to remind them of what Jesus was about to do on the cross. Now, for us, it's a little bit different. We do it as a reminder of what Jesus did do on the cross for us. Well, how do we do communion? Here's the cool thing. We actually do it just like they did it back in the book of Matthew. We use bread or crackers and we use wine or juice to take communion the same way that the disciples did. And we usually do it with our church. Now, this year's a little bit different. We get to do it as a family in our own homes, and we actually get to do it as a church family, just in different homes. Now, your parents, they might be using crackers or bread or wine and juice, but they might be using something else, and that's okay because it's a symbol to represent the body and the blood that Jesus gave up for us. We do it as a reminder of how Jesus put us first on the cross. That's cool, right? So we get to do this thing that the disciples did so long ago, just the way that they did it, just a little bit differently these days. Now, you also might have a little block of wood and some paint and some brushes to do a special activity. Now, the disciples didn't do this in their communion, but we like to do it as another reminder of all that Jesus has done for us. So your family might paint it. You might put your handprints on it. You might put a thumbprint on it. Anything is fine, whatever your family wants to do as that special reminder. Now, if you didn't get a chance to pick that up this week, you'll have more chances throughout the week to pick it up. And if you don't get to do communion on Sunday, you can do it anytime throughout the week. Pastor Tim is going to walk your family through exactly what to do in his Sunday sermon online. So make sure you tune in at 9:30 or 11 on either genesismetro.tv, YouTube, or Facebook. He'll go through it all there with you guys. And we want to see how you celebrate communion. So be sure to take a picture or a video and tag us on any of our social medias because we want to see how your family does it. I'm excited for communion this week. I know that you guys are excited for it, and we can't wait to celebrate with you guys.